going on, everybody? My name is Micaiah. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to be discussing Euphoria Season 2, Episode 5. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe and turn on post notifications. My social medias will be linked in the description box down below and also at the end of the video. With that being said, let's get into this crazy episode. Y'all, when I tell you this episode did not stop from start to finish, from the second that of HBO came on, it didn't stop. With that being said, y'all, I got my notes right here. Let's get into this episode. So, the episode starts off with Rue being upset because her mom has found out that she's doing drugs. And so she thinks that Gia has told her mom. And she thinks that her mom only knows that she has been smoking weed. Yeah, no. So after she finds out that Leslie comes into her room and she's like, Rue, I'm talking about the pills. Y'all, Zendaya's face when her mama said that, she was like, she yawned, y'all. She was like, what you talking about? I was like, y'all. And then she finds out that Jules told her mom, after Elliot told Jules last episode that Rue was using again, Jules went and told her mom, which is one of the best decisions Jules has made all season. I just got to put that out there first and foremost. Have I been happy with the choices Jules has made this season? No, absolutely not. Cheating being the main one I have an issue with. But got to give her props for telling Leslie that Rue was using again because somebody needed to. So after we find that out, Rue frantically searches for the suitcase that she got from Marie, and it's like, where are my pills? Where are my pills? Like, where is it? Like, she's going frantic. And you see her switch between being angry and being aggressive to like crying and I'm sorry, like I want to get clean. And y'all, Zendaya's performance in that beginning sequence was phenomenal. Like truly, I was like sitting there like with my mouth open, like she is acting. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, when she slammed her back across the, against the door and she broke it, y'all. I was like, so after she starts getting violent with her mom and she goes into the room, she goes on this big spiel. She's like, Gia's gonna have to be an astronaut or a neurosurgeon because I'm such a big screw up. And she is like, stop, like, please just stop. And like, literally, it was so, I feel so bad for Gia, y'all. Like, truly, I feel so bad for Gia. Like, I could not imagine having a sister. Like, she loved Rue so much, but Rue, this addiction is truly overtaking her right now. Like, she can't even be a good functioning sister because of this addiction that she has. So that was so unsettling to see. And after this whole sequence of Zendaya fighting with Leslie and Gia, and she finds out that Jules and Elliot have been in the house the entire time, and they heard all of this, and you can just see the embarrassment across Rue's face. Like, Zendaya did such a good job of showing like that she was embarrassed, and Leslie's like, don't look embarrassed now, own that, own what you just said and own what you just did. And she's like, screw you. And she gets upset and she walks out and she goes to confront Jules. Y'all, that might be one of the saddest scenes in Euphoria, watching her tell Jules that she sucks the life out of people and that she just uses people and she just kind of discards of them and doesn't care about their feelings after they're done. She kind of ate with some of the stuff she said, though. And she was like, because Jules was like, I love you. And she was like, you love. Like, basically, she was like, you don't love me. And so that was super hard to see. Y'all, when she slapped Elliot, when she hit him in the head, I was crying. Truly in tears. I was like, yo, that was hilarious. So Elliot's like, I miss Rue before, and this was never my place. And I'm like, yeah, homeboy, I could have told you that. Like, And while we speaking on Rue, you need to get your butt in rehab too, because you're a high-functioning drug addict. And those are the worst kind. He's so good at hiding it that you wouldn't even think he was on drugs. That's concerning. So you need to be in rehab right with Rue. But I digress. So after she angrily talks to Jules and tells her off, and Rue gets in the car to go, she tells her mom she wants to go to the hospital. And they get in the car, and Leslie's like, I'm taking you to rehab. And she's like, I thought you told me you were taking me to the hospital. And she was like, Rue was like the same thing. She's like, no, it's not. And so they start arguing. Gia's just in the passenger seat like, yo. Once again, my heart goes out to Gia, y'all. The stuff that she has to deal with and go through. So after that, Rue decides she doesn't want to go to the hospital. So she gets out of the car and jumps into oncoming traffic and starts running and maneuvering her way through the streets. Y'all, I just gotta say, Zendaya, this whole episode was literally this scene from The Office. Roll clip.
Parkour! Michael, parkour! Parkour!
Yeah, that scene. Exactly. Literally, she was just parkour this whole episode. The stuff that she did in these Converse, this episode could literally be an ad for Converse and why you should get them. The stuff she was able to do in those shoes this episode. When she jumped on the lit barbecue grill, y'all, I was like, this is insane. So after Rue leaves the car and she ends up going to Lexi and Cassie's house, y'all, she gets there. Maddie, Kat, Cassie, and Lexi are all there, and Lexi and Cassie's mom is like, Rue, are you clean? Like, how are you doing? Rue's like, yeah, I'm clean. Just have a little bit of a cold. And I'm like, girl, you know you lying. And the funniest thing to me was when Rue asked she could go to the bathroom. She went upstairs and she started looking for pills. Lexi's mom goes, she is not okay. She is not doing good. I was like, somebody noticed. The girl looks a mess. And I watched the Euphoria after I watched the episodes, and they said that they specifically, like, Zendaya's hair tells the story of this episode. Like, you can tell how mentally and physically strung out she is by her hair this episode. And I thought that was such a good detail, because as I was watching the episode, I just kept looking at Zendaya's hair, and I was like, dang, Rue is going through it. Like, I was like, her hair looks horrible. So I love that they used her hair to tell that story in this episode. And after that, we get to probably my favorite part of the whole episode. Rue comes downstairs and she sees that Leslie is waiting for her, and she's like, Rue, you need to come to the hospital with me. And she's like, I'm not going. And Cassie comes down the corner and she's like, it's okay, Rue. You just have to take it one day at a time. Y'all, she should have kept her mouth shut. Rue goes, so how long have you been Nate Jacobs? Huh? Y'all, Cassie's face. And can we talk about how she went from Rue to, why would you believe her? She's a drug dealer. Oh, so now she's a drug addict. Now she a drug addict. Y'all, Maddie in that scene had me in tears. She was like, she been doing what? Y'all, this literally finna be Maddie to Cassie next episode. When I tell you, I was laughing. And then, can we talk about how Cassie went from, you're scared of Maddie, I'm crazier, to literally running away from Maddie? We all know that person who talk all big, talk all this and that. But the second it comes time to square up and stuff gets real, they running.
I am crazier. No.
Don't be that person. Don't be a Cassie. So, after Rue starts that commotion, and y'all, all hell breaks loose. And can we talk about Lexi in the background being like, I was crying, y'all. I was like, not Lexi about to use this for inspiration for her play. But that was probably one of my favorite scenes of the episode. Rue uses the drama that she just caused to run out of the house and go back on the run. And so after that she walks around, she sees that there is this couple leaving their house and their garage is coming down. And I love that they used the song that they used for Maddie's teaser. Finally, this episode from Lavender. Yeah, y'all know what's up. Yeah, y'all know what's up. I love that song. I think it's so good. So when I heard it, I was super happy. When Rue turned and looked at the camera and it started playing, and she rolls under the garage door and she breaks into their house. Y'all, when she broke in and I heard the sound of the dog, I was like, oh, she's screwed. When I was telling you, she got so lucky that dog wasn't aggressive and wasn't an attack dog. I'm pretty sure it was a boxer, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure that's the type of breed of dog it was. But the dog's name is Harold. And she's like, oh, hey, Harold, let me see what your name is. And so she finds out his name is Harold, and she steals jewelry. And also, she stole a pair of earrings from Lexi's house. So Rue stole a pair of earrings from Lexi's and Cassie's house, and she steals jewelry. And then, can we talk about how unrealistic it was that she was able to crack the safe code? I was like, that was a little too easy. But okay, I digress. But she was able to steal money and jewelry from the people's house, and then they come home. They look like they had an argument, so they decided to come back home and not go out. And so the couple did, and so Rue is hiding under the bed, and then the man finds her and she runs out of the house. And then after that, she goes to Fezco's house. Y'all, the way she acted at his house was, oh Lord. So she goes in, she tells Fez that she is going through withdrawal, and Fez is like, I'm not finna help you, like I don't have no pills here. And I do think he possibly had pills here. I just don't think he wanted to give her anything, because as you know, Fez wants her to get clean, and he thought that she had been clean, I think, previously, until she came into this house and told him that she wasn't. So she goes into Fez's grandma's to the bathroom. She starts taking pills from Fez's grandma. Fez is like, oh nah, you gotta go, because now you're taking pills from my grandma who's literally in a coma. Like, and she's like, Fez, I just need 2 or 3. And he's like, no. So she pushes Fez, and Fez is like, oh, heck no. And he's like, it's time for you to go. Y'all, can we talk about how funny it was? The Ashtray was just sitting back watching Fez throw her out like, okay. And so he throws Rue out, and Rue was like all upset, and I was like, girl, you had that one coming. You deserve that one. Not you taking pills from literally somebody who's in a coma, like his grandma. Rue, y'all, that's why I'm telling you, don't do drugs. They'll be having you messed up. And so, can we talk about how funny it was that Rue was like, Fez, I'm taking a crap, like my stomach hurts. He's like, yo, you need some Pepto-Bismol, some. Fez is a king. I love Fez. Fez is the comic relief that we all need. He is hilarious. So after he kicks her out for trying to steal pills from his grandma, we see Rue breaks into, well, she doesn't break into, but she runs out of the house again, and the police see her, and she evades capture from the police, y'all.
This right here don't make a bitch cry. And if you're being honest, I am such a great guy. But this is what I do when a bitch breaks off. I'm a player in the dungeon under. No, the bitches ain't eating it, dying of hunger. Who the fuck am I me? Who the fuck is this fool? And yes, maybe that's a target for us. Get my words, terror's gonna get my barrage.
That scene was insane. She's dashing in and out of different, running through people's backyards. Like I said, she jumped up on a barbecue grill that had a fire lit to jump over. There's little Pomeranians chasing her as she's running through. The police are on her trail. But basically, the police officer pulled her over. He asked her where she was going. She said home, and then she vomited from her going through withdrawal. And the police officer starts chasing after her and calls for backup. And then she is able to successfully evade them by hiding in a trash can. Can we talk about how the police were trash? the police officers were trash. Like, that would have been the first place I would look for somebody. If I was looking for, I would be like, check trash cans. It's such an easy place for them to hide. And I know Rue smelled awful. After all she went through, she was running, sweating this episode, jumping in trash cans. I was like, girl, I know you smell bad. Like, ooh. So, after Rue evades the police from hiding in trash cans, she goes to Laurie's house. Y'all. We find out that Laurie was a college athlete and that she got addicted to oxycodone after she started having an injury to her shoulder. I'm not sure exactly what she did. It makes me, since she said shoulder, it kind of makes me think that she was a pitcher or a softball player. She could have been a thrower in track and field, who knows, but she was in some kind of collegiate sport, and so Laurie puts Rue in the bathtub and she gives her morphine. Rue is being taken care of by Laurie, and she puts her in the bathtub, and Rue submerges herself under the water. We get this flashback of Rue as a baby, and oh my god, y'all, we got to see the little girl that Zendaya has been bond with, named Alumera. It plays baby Rue, and we finally get to see her this episode, and we see a flashback of her back to when she was little, and we see her in the hospital with her dad, and she's like, Gia, and Gia's sitting after just being born, and she kisses the glass, and her dad's like, don't kiss the glass, it's the hospital. And you just see how much she misses her dad. And we see Rue talking, like writing, like not writing, but reading off like something she wrote about her dad. And she was like, my dad said that like whenever I want to see him, whenever I miss him, to just close my eyes and he'll be there. And it just broke my heart, y'all. Like, she really misses her dad. Like, if I was going through what she was going through, I would be a mess too. Like, I just feel so bad for Rue. Like, I truly would wish that she could get her dad back, but sadly she can't, and it's just really eating her up, y'all. Like, I was so glad to finally see her admit to Leslie. She's like, I miss dad, and she was like, I miss him, and I was like, I'm so sorry, baby. Like, it just broke my heart. And then her telling Leslie that she was a bad parent, and that she blames it on the fact that they lost their father, so she feels like she can be a lackluster parent just because they lost their dad, y'all. That hurt. But I digress, and this is an extra clip that I added in, so thank you. Y'all, I'm pretty sure Laurie never expected Rue to be able to pay back the money from the suitcase full of drugs she gave her. So I kind of feel like she always planned to sex traffic her. So she gave her morphine to make her dependent on her, and Rue wakes up and everything, like, she tries to escape through a window, but she can't. And so she's thankfully able to escape through a window later on. But before she does that, she keeps seeing these, Laurie has all these birds. Laurie is weird. Like, first of all, what you got all these birds for, girl? Like, not that there's anything wrong with birds, but it's just she has so many, and they just all look so weird. And they gave me this unsettling feeling. But after all that, she also, can we talk about how Laurie said that she's never gotten angry in her whole life? If somebody ever says that to you, run. Because no one has never not gotten angry in their whole life. That's something super weird. So, after that, Rue actually tries, we see this door, and I swear, y'all, I don't know if I'm crazy or something, I heard like somebody behind the door, and there's a lock on it. So Rue was going through different keys, trying to unlock the door and get into the door and see what was behind it. But Laurie's little boy toy, boyfriend, whatever, wakes up, and he starts hearing Rue, and so Rue successfully jumps out of the window. Can we talk about how did she not break her ankle, her legs this episode? Like, literally, she jumped from a high height. Like, she climbed out of the side of Laurie's window and jumped down. I was like, y'all, once again, this is an ad for Converse. Like, get you a pair. But after that, we see Rue once again escape through a window. And after that, Rue walks and jogs down the street. And then we flash back to Leslie at the house. And we hear the door open and Leslie goes, Rue. And the episode ends. Y'all. This episode was absolutely insane. Once again, Zendaya's performance. Hand her the Emmy. Literally, I was so glad to see a Rue-focused episode. And no ding-dangs, ding-longs swinging in my face this episode. No manhood was being swung, thank gosh. No awkwardly placed sex scenes. Just straight up, this is what you... Sam Levinson is best when he just writes about addiction. And it shows in this episode. Because episodes before this, they weren't horrible, but they really missed the mark in a lot of areas. So, and I saw this one article talking about why this was the worst episode of Euphoria. I said, oh, you crazy. You been smoking. This is the best of the season. Like, Zendaya truly shines through. Y'all, I'm excited for next episode. Maddie finna rain hell on Cassie and Nate. It's coming. When she was talking to someone, they were like, what are you going to do to Nate? And she was like, I have some ideas. Oh, y'all. Nate had his last night of a good rest. Because when he wake up tomorrow and find out that Maddie know, baby, sound the alarms. Your life is over. So, I am excited for episode 6. And this episode, once again, was crazy from start to finish. I truly enjoyed it. And I had a great experience in watching it. And I'm so grateful to be able to review it for you guys. I hope that you guys thought it was just as crazy as I did. And I hope that you enjoyed it. And thank you for watching my review. I really appreciate it. And I hope that you guys like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications. My social medias will be linked in the description box down below. And they'll also be at the end of the video. And thank you guys once again for watching my channel. Bye.